California was named after a romance novel? In the early 16th century, Europeans began to migrate en masse to the Americas. Back in Europe, just a few decades earlier, the invention of the printing press had made it possible to mass print books. So enterprising writers started essentially remixing and republishing old classics. And the genre that dominated the market was the romance novel. These romance novels were a little different than the ones we think of today. They were chivalric romance novels. More about the romance of heroes on epic quests. But still, the literate men of the time loved them some good chivalric romance. One of the first and most popular romance novels was Las Sergas de Esplandian, the tale of a Spaniard who defeats the Greeks and the Greeks' main ally, Queen Calafia, the black Amazonian queen of the island of California. Of course, in the book, she's so impressed by Esplandian that she converts to Christianity and marries his cousin. The novel was a sequel to what was essentially the author's own fanfiction, but it basically became the Harry Potter of its time. One of the novel's biggest fanboys was none other than Hernan Cortés. So when he first heard of an island off the west coast of Mexico that was supposedly full of gold and women, he decided that this must be the fabled island of California from his favorite novel. The obvious irony was, Las Sergas de Esplandian and other books like it were being widely read by the same explorers who were inspiring the stories, which created this weird feedback loop. Explorers discovered amazing new places. Writers back in Europe heard stories about those places and wrote fantastical stories about more places. Those same explorers read those new stories and thought that places like the island of California and Hogwarts were real. Well, as we know today, that island is in fact not an island, but a long peninsula, and not particularly full of gold or Amazonian women. But the name California stuck, and eventually migrated to Alta California as well, the place the world knows today as California. All because the European migrants of the 16th century loved their romance novels.